So have you heard of Eliza Bleu?
No, haven't heard of it.
So she is allegedly, I'm going to use the word allegedly a lot because she's suing anyone who questions her. She is, for a while, been a human trafficking activist, right? Not for human trafficking, obviously. She was against it. But she's like an advocate. She claims she was trafficked. And that's kind of been her whole thing. She's been working with Elon Musk. To her credit, she's worked with him to get a lot of the nasty stuff taken off Twitter. Now, I will say on that, I hear all the time about how Twitter has this problem with child porn. I'm going to be real with you guys. I've never seen it on there. So what you're doing in your algorithms to get child porn to pop up as much as it does, it's beyond me. But I've never seen anything on there like that. I've been told that it happens. I see news articles about it all the time, but I've never seen it, and I've certainly never searched for it. So I don't know what you guys are doing online to have this problem, but I'm glad someone's taking care of it.
I have seen porn on Twitter that's made me say, "Whoo, child."
I mean, they'll like I've had porn retweeted, but I've never had anything where I'm like, oh my God, that's a kid. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there have been videos where it's like somebody was like 16 and their sex tape got cycled, but I've never seen anything on Twitter where I'm like, oh my God, I need to call the FBI right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm sure it's on there because I've heard nonstop about it. So she's worked with Elon to get a lot of this crap taken off, which I think people can do the right things for the wrong reasons sometimes. I think that, maybe her ultimate goal might be fame, it might be money, whatever, but at least she's doing something positive. It's like if a guy gives a bunch of money to a charity that raises money for kids with cancer, but he only donates it so he can get the tax write-off at the end of the year. Well, the charity still got the money. You know what I mean? So like at the end of the day, who really cares why he did it? He helped somebody that needed it. So Eliza Bleu has had this video circulating from when she was in a rap video on World Star Hip Hop. And it's just like a typical rap video. She's this white chick. She's bouncing her tits and ass around, and that's just the whole thing. People were tweeting pictures of it at her, asking her, hey, this is along the timeline of when you were allegedly trafficked. Were you trafficked in this video? Was World Star Hip Hop complacent in you being trafficked? And instead of responding to it, she basically did the Streisand effect, which was she went so hard and so far out of her way to cover this up, she's now gotten more people interested in it than ever would have cared to begin with. Okay. So you've got people, World Star Hip Hop's removed it, YouTube's removed it, Rumble's removed it, Twitter's removed it because she's complained that it's exploitive of her and that it was all taken against her will. Well, she's also on on audio, and this is way before deep fakes, on a phone call, explaining how she basically tracked down the CEO of World Star Hip Hop and begged him to put her in this video. So if she just would have left it alone, it would have been like, hey, it's a video of you dancing seductive. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? But she's made such a big deal out of it. It's created, like I said, a Streisand effect. So people have started looking into it, just her whole past a little bit further. And there's some questions. So the first time I heard about her, I don't remember whose podcast it was on. She gave me weird vibes. I'm like, she's a little grifty. Something doesn't sound authentic about this. But I left it alone. You don't want to be the guy that's bashing the human trafficking survivor, right? That's you got to pick your battles, right? That's not the battle. Right. Not the hill I'm going to die on is harassing the human trafficking survivor, if that's what she really is. So this woman has changed her name 4 times. She was Eliza. It was her real last name. It started with an M. It was like Morthland or something like that. Then it was Eliza Sip, Eliza Cuts. Now it's Eliza Bleu. When she was Eliza Cuts, she was like a hairstylist for celebrities. She has been on American Idol. She has been on dating shows. She has been a groupie for My Chemical Romance. She was dating Gerard Way, the lead singer of My Chemical Romance, at one point. She was in those rap music videos. She was a model. She's basically tried everything to get famous, and the one thing that finally worked was pretending to be a human trafficking victim.
Wow.
So that's been her whole thing. I mean, it's all alleged. We don't know. Maybe she was trafficked, but she was on a podcast. It was the Michael Malice Show, where she was asked, how were you trafficked? Like, we don't want you to go grossly into detail, but like, what happened? So, maybe people can look out for warning signs. This is her definition of trafficking. Someone used her picture that they took off her Instagram, posted it to fake Twitter accounts, fake Craigslist, and fake back pages for like sugar daddy things, scammed these men out of money. She never had any contact with anybody involved. Someone stole her picture and used it for a catfish and scammed men out of money, and somehow that's trafficking. That's human trafficking by her definition.
Wow, that's I think Cardi B's done worse than that. Drugging dudes and stealing their wallets and stuff.
Yeah. So that's how she that's the only evidence she's provided that she was trafficked. And again, she has done a lot to help out actual victims of human trafficking. So good on her. But she tweeted out 2 years ago that there's nothing more despicable and predatory than pretending to be a victim of human trafficking to profit and achieve fame off the backs of actual victims. So
has she been called out for this?
Oh yes, relentlessly.
What's her response to all?
Her response, because she's buddies with Elon, and again, I think Elon has overwhelmingly had a positive effect on Twitter, but if he's going out and censoring people too, that he's no better than Jack Dorsey. She's gotten with Elon, and he just goes out and he removes the accounts. He freezes the accounts of anyone that calls her out on it. And that's where we're at. And the precedent they're using, and remember, Eliza likes to align herself with like conservative and libertarian types. The precedent they're using is the same precedent that Twitter created to censor the Hunter Biden laptop story. They said it was stolen private information, and that's why they're removing it. Journalists post that all the time. By the way, it was CHI Health that we were talking about last week. Call back to last week. Anyway, just reminded me. I was going to do it at the beginning of the show, but speaking of private information that journalists obtain. But yes, so she's a free speech champion who wants to apply the same standards they use to protect the Biden crime family to herself. You got to look out for these wolves in sheep's clothing, guys. She's grifted her way through the conservative and libertarian movement, and honestly, if this is true, if she's really lying about being a human trafficking victim to get clout, and it kind of looks like she is right now, having to remove any trace of her past, because once you start looking into the timeline she provides of when she was trafficked, none of it makes sense. So the timeline she's providing, if she's really was being trafficked at this time, she's saying that Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance was trafficking her. She was in a music video with YG, the rapper. Do you know who that is?
Yes.
Yeah. I know a couple of his songs.
Oh, honey.
Yeah. This guy's got over 1 billion streams on Spotify. She was in a music video with him. If she's calling out My Chemical Romance and YG as sex trafficker, she better have some receipts. That's all I'm going to say. Youths. That's all I'm gonna, because those people got money to come after you.
Yeah, I was gonna say YG. I don't know about the guy from My Chemical Romance, but like YG's the kind of guy that would legit like show up at your door with dangerous people.
I know.
And
yeah,
it's like, you want to get trafficked? I'll just throw you in traffic.
Right.
Like, I'll show you some human trafficking.
Right.
You know
like
if
you're going to imply that World Star Hip Hop, YG, My Chemical Romance were complicit in you being trafficked, you better have some receipts other than someone used my picture and posted a Craigslist ad. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to click the link in the description to get the full episode on Rumble. If you prefer to listen along, you could actually get us on Spotify, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. You can also go to www.outlawstreamers.com to learn more about not just my show, but tons of other great shows and all the exciting projects they have coming up. Follow my socials at Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram, at Caleb Salvatore Comedy on the Chinese spy app that is TikTok, and be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks, and we'll see you every Saturday for brand new episodes of That's Based. Peace.